A woman spent just $3,000 to buy a huge estate. This place is right in the village, and the property is massive. She got such a good deal partly because she had some insider tips from the real estate agent. After some in-depth talks, she snagged this big estate for a steal. Inside the property, there are lots of Chinese-style buildings. Even though the yard was overgrown, you could see a little Chinese pavilion standing gracefully in the distance. There used to be an artificial lake here. Walking across a small bridge, you could reach the pavilion. The scenery there is stunning, and the lamps along the paths are all styled in traditional Chinese design. The landscaping is really beautiful, showing the previous owner had a real love for ancient Chinese culture. However, the houses themselves are decorated in a normal style and don't really reflect the Chinese aesthetic. Since the house hadn't been lived in for years, there was a noticeable musty smell inside. In the smaller rooms, the plaster on the walls had mostly fallen off onto the floors. Because this area gets a lot of rain, the roof had started leaking, leaving piles of mud outside the house. Inside, you can also find soil on the floors. Clearly, renovating this place is going to take some serious effort. On the side of the house, there's a staircase leading to the second floor. Upstairs, the view is pretty nice, though the overgrown trees block a lot of it. The second floor has a small room with a staircase going up to the third floor. After checking things out, the woman immediately called in her team to start clearing the property. This estate had been abandoned for decades. Though it looks old, it's not falling apart. The outer walls are huge and mostly intact. They just needed a quick trim of the trees outside, which the woman wanted to keep as simple decorations. Once the walls were cleared, the team moved into the yard, pulling out large leaves by hand. They used chainsaws to cut up any fallen ancient trees and carried the pieces out. Luckily, the weeds weren't too bad, so clearing the yard wasn't as hard as expected. The team each had their own jobs and worked together efficiently. Since the cleanup wasn't too difficult, they only sent 3 workers initially, planning to add more later if needed. They cleared a small path through the yard, and that's why there weren't many weeds. The lower areas had been paved. The small bridge was cleaned up too. The Chinese-style landscaping really feels elegant and high-end. Compared to the houses, the garden area looks luxurious and grand. It's a shame the original owner didn't carry the Chinese style into the buildings themselves. While cleaning, the team especially loved the Chinese-style areas. The ancient aesthetic really stands out, especially the artificial lake and the Chinese-style lamps they're striking. The lake water is pretty polluted and filled with debris, so it'll need to be completely replaced. The little